Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Today's video is going to be the first in a series of videos. Having cerebral palsy or a disability in general, you tend to have an altered perception view on the world than those who don't have a disability, because the people around you affect how you feel. Disabled Thoughts is going to be a series of videos in which I tell you about my internal monologue, dialogue, thoughts, feelings that I primarily have because of my disability in certain situations. And some of them, they're just other people without disabilities might have them, but I think they're primarily fueled by the fact that the environment and the people around me are not always suited to having a disability. And so there is going to be a series of videos based on different situations, places or things. So the first episode, I guess, in that series is going to be on out and about. And what out and about is basically going to cover is things like just sort of basic travel, commute to work, running errands. So just general out and about, not going to a specific place, but just trying to get somewhere to run errands, or you want to grab some food or something like that. And that's what this episode's going to be about. So first set of thoughts is based on crossing roads. And generally I am quite a slow walker, well, a very slow walker in fact. And one of the things that annoys me to some extent is that when I'm either using a crossing or crossing a road, people driving their cars think that edging and crawling forward is going to make me run or walk a bit quicker across the road. No, that's not going to happen. The first thought I get when people do that is just like, hit me. Come on, hit me. What? You can't really make it any worse. I've already got brain damage, I've already got bad legs and a body that already feels like it's 80 years old and I'm only 24. Just hit me. See what damage you can do. I could do with a week off. That's generally my thoughts. It's not going to make me walk quicker. It's not going to make me run. If I run, that's going to make me even longer. That also stems another thought when this happens. When people try and rush me when I'm crossing a road, or like edge forward or crawl or beep. And that thought is, hit me again, you're going to be waiting there at least another 2 hours while we wait for an ambulance to turn up. Whereas if you've been patient for maybe an extra 3 minutes, you would get to your destination a lot quicker than hitting me and waiting for an ambulance. Those are quite dark thoughts, but they happen to me a lot. I'm like, what is you crawling or edging going to do to make me cross the road faster? I'm not going to run, I'm not going to walk. If I'm feeling that like annoyed about it, I will purposely slow down. And sometimes walking slower is harder for me, because sometimes I need the raw speed or the oomph to actually get me to the destination. If you annoy me that much, I will physically slow down and get in your way to make you feel more pressured or speed up like you did to me. So that's one set of disabled thoughts while out and about and crossing roads. And people without disabilities, or even people without disabilities but have trouble walking, running, if you don't have a disadvantage walking or running, we're not walking that slow on purpose. Do you think we enjoy just standing in the middle of the road and holding up people's day? We don't. It's just we can't do anything about it. The other one, based on something I said just in my previous one, is slow walkers. And this is actually really hypocritical of me, and I know it is. I know it's quite judgy. But like often on my commute to work, sometimes I get stuck behind a group of really slow walkers, and because when I get off a boat we have to go up a ramp on a hill, to get myself up that ramp I have to double my walking speed, knacking myself out to get up that ramp, otherwise I am going back down, because my legs don't always listen to my brain, so they're like, no, we're not walking up here, when I actually need to force myself to walk up there. And when I get behind a set of people who are slow walkers or just dawdling, my first thought is, come on, even I can walk faster than that, and I've got brain damage. What are you doing? We're not here for fun. Most of us are on our commute to work. You might be going on a lovely holiday, but that doesn't mean you can just dawdle in the middle of the road. And yes, I am an extremely slow walker, but I also know how annoying it is to walk behind me. So unless you've somehow really annoyed me, I will purposely move over to one side and walk on that side and let other people walk around me. And yeah, I try to do that if possible. If you're annoying me and getting all up behind me, I will purposely not give you room, because you're not being nice enough or courteous enough to take into consideration why I'm walking that slow in the first place. But from face value, when people are just slow walking or dawdling, or stop and have a chat in the middle of a hill when you're trying to get up that hill, I'm just like, why stop there? If I go back down that hill, I am taking you down with me. I'm quite good at a game of human dominoes, because once I fall, I'm going. And I will not be able to control who I fall into or fall away from. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Other slow walkers, it is really hypocritical, and I know that, but it's my thoughts on the matter. Next one is those people that see that I'm using the banister with both hands to one side, and they still choose to walk up the side of the banister while I'm using it. And I really can't do stairs. I do that thing where you have to have both feet on both stairs before you move the next one, whereas I think I don't spend much time observing people walk up the stairs. That'd be a bit weird. But most people do one step, other foot, one step, other foot, one step, other foot. Whereas I do, basically, I have to get both feet on the one step before I move up. So I am slow doing stairs, and I need the banister because my balance, I basically walk like a drunk duck. And I need the banister for my balance. And then when you just immediately try to walk up while I'm using the banister to the banister side, I have to immediately stop and hope I don't lose my balance. I'm like, what are you doing? You can clearly walk up the stairs okay. And if you can't, you could have waited till I've come down, or waited until I've gone up. Not try, what is you doing that? Because that is just going to make both of us stop, me stare at you and think some horrible thoughts, and then both of us carry on with our journey. Also related to that, disabled thought-wise, banisters, stairs, is that when people smoke and they decide to stand near the banister side or at the top of the stairs, and I'm like, come on, I need the banister, can you not move over? Quite a few people, if you ask them, they're quite nice about it, and then you see in their face how guilty they feel. And I'm like, the banister's there for a reason. It isn't just there for health and safety. There's a reason stairs have banisters in the first place, because enough people have done damage to warrant one. Where do you think most health and safety rules come from? Yeah, so that's the thoughts on those matter. And my next thoughts on another thought when out and about is when I'm using the disabled parking spaces. I have a disabled badge, it's a blue badge that warrants me to park in the disabled spaces, primarily because they tend to be wider, so you can open the doors, all the way wide and then swing your legs out, and sometimes they tend to be closer, but that is not the reason that I use disabled parking, though closer does help. But what I find is when I use it, because I am young and the place where I live, the majority of the population are old, elderly people, and they look at you to try and work out how you're disabled. I can tell in their face they're doing it. I've had people go, "Oh, well, you don't look disabled," and I will instantly go, "Oh, well, I didn't know disabled people look like certain things. What do disabled people look like?" And people don't know how to answer that question, but I like thinking of it because I like to see people rework in their brain what their sort of thoughtless things they've said actually sound like out loud. And I find it is mainly older people. They seem to be quite judgy of those of us who are young with disabilities. And yeah, I get you're older and you've probably had a fuller, more life experience than me. Quite a lot of the older people have become disabled. They haven't started off their life as disabled. And I'm like, why are you judging me for using the disabled parking space? What do you expect? Would you like me to fall out the car and crawl to the door? I mean, I have fallen out the car before, but that wasn't on purpose and that really hurt. But I'm like, what do you expect? Are you expecting me to fall out the car and just sit on the ground there waiting and then get back in the car at the end of the day? Is that what you're expecting me to do? Those are my thoughts on the matter. Most of the time I don't air these ones because they are quite, shall we say, spiteful and a bit bitchy. But it is still nice to think about it. And last but not least, disabled thoughts while out and about. I want to include falling over. With cerebral palsy, and especially spastic cerebral palsy, my balance, my muscles are tight. They're not great at balance, and that means I fall over a lot. And falling over when you first start doing it in public is embarrassing. It is awkward, but the more it happens, the more you get used to it and you just want to get up. And these thoughts, either after or just before I've fallen over, vary from alright to slightly not alright thoughts. One of those alright thoughts is when people come and check that you're okay. And those thoughts, I always think, oh, it's nice you check you're okay. This person this morning has restored my faith in humanity. Then you get the other dedicated commuters, the ones who are on tight schedules and they just decide to walk around you. And I'm like, what if I died? Would you do that as well? Those are my thoughts on the matter. And my third thoughts on the matter, and this is primarily my default thought, is that I feel really bad because several times when I've fallen over, especially on my commute to work, more recently, like a couple of weeks ago, I fell over getting off the boat. And it was just went big thud down, and I nearly gave the lady I fell over in front of a heart attack. Like, she literally had to catch her breath because I just went down. And she was really nice about it. She was like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay?" And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. What I didn't realise until I got in my taxi was that my knees were like gudging without blood. Got into work, first thing I said was, "Has anyone got a first aid kit?" And I think they're kind of used to it by now, that I'm kind of accident prone. So I spent like 20 minutes of my morning in work with like tissues just trying to stop the bleeding in my knee. It was just a surface wound because I keep falling on that knee and I keep opening it back up. So yeah, so my thoughts primarily on falling over in public is I generally feel bad because there's that one where I nearly gave the lady I fell over in front of a heart attack, and there was another time a couple of years ago and I fell over in public, and like the second one I mentioned where the commuters just walk around you, there was this lady, she was like mid phone call with her son, and like she just sort of stopped mid-word when she saw me fall over and was like, quick, gotta go, put the phone down, ran over, like, all panicking. He was like, oh my god, are you alright? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, I do this all the time. And then she had to call her son back and say, oh, it's alright, sorry, this lady just fell over in front of me. But because I do it so often, I don't find it as a big deal. Sometimes it is embarrassing. I've fallen in a puddle before, that was horrible. But, yeah, those are the ones I feel bad. I feel bad when, but they also restore my faith in humanity when that happens. So yeah, that was my first episode of Disabled Thoughts Out and About. Next ones, I think I'm going to cover trips to the theatre as one, because I've been to the theatre quite a few times recently and a lot of disabled specific thoughts have come to my mind, and other things might include like going out to a restaurant or even school trips, disabled thoughts, that sort of thing. Because when I was in school, I did have lots of those thoughts. Please also check out another video that is coming soon where I am going to explain about all the sorts of different adaptations, equipment, devices that I've used throughout my life because of my cerebral palsy. I thought I'd explore that and share the different ones I've used so it's explained. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next video.